when I didn't work through that pattern, when there was something that I was going through, maybe a guy didn't do what I wanted, like he didn't commit fast enough, I would just block him and not talk to him. Or maybe when there would be like issues in relationships where the person I was talking to didn't text me fast enough back, I would just not talk to them again. I felt powerful. Like I felt powerful to have the option to just run away, to stop talking because and it goes both way. Also men do this a lot, but women too. When he didn't text me enough, I would just disappear and ghost and not text anything either. Or when he didn't stop doing whatever little annoying thing that annoyed me, I would just run away from the relationship. Or maybe there would be triggers. Yeah, I would feel uncomfortable with something. He would like get angry about something, and it's not necessarily a bad thing unless someone acts out on anger and like says something mean, or everybody's allowed to be angry. Because I couldn't hold it, I felt uncomfortable, I would be running and I would stop talking to this person. So I was running from a relationship quite a lot, I have to admit here. Let me know in the comments if you resonate with that and what were the reasons you run. And I remember I told my mom about it and she was like, these are really stupid little reasons why you run. Like, think about it. I remember she told me that and I was like, yeah, I know. I have to do something about it. But it made me feel powerful. It made me feel like free. It made me feel good that I have the option to run, you could say. And obviously, the result of that was no relationship. Because with every conflict, every challenge, I would just run. And guess what? I also chose men that would run. So if you are choosing partners that easily run away, you subconsciously also feel comfortable with that. So in so many videos I was sharing, oh yeah, I was attracted men without commitment. The truth is I felt comfortable, deeply comfortable with men that didn't want to commit because I was just like always with one foot out the door, always about to run. Yeah. And as you can see, this is not how you create a healthy relationship. This is not how you create a amazing, fulfilling, committed relationship. And again, I'm not saying that you have to be stuck with someone that you feel uncomfortable with, that you suffer with. I'm not saying you have to be with someone that isn't compatible to you. No. But if your reaction is to always run to kind of like stop the relationship, you know what are the results. The results is you being single and alone and having only short-term relationships, maybe for a couple months, like superficial relationships. But then when the wind hits, when the strong wind hits your house, I kind of mean by that your commitment and connection to this person just blows apart. So, what is the solution here? The solution isn't to stop the wind because life happens, wind happens. The solution is to build a stronger house. There was like a children's story, I don't know the name of it, but maybe you heard of it, that um, one, like they had three houses. Yeah, one was made out of hay, some kind of like grass, and then only a little bit wind would take it away. One was made, I think, out of um, some kind of wood, and then it would take a little bit more to take it away, but it still would be taken away. And one house was built out of brick, and then no amount of wind would take the house away. So if you want to have a long-term relationship, You have to become the house out of brick. And I know, you're gonna say, but this person did this to me. This person said this rude comment to me. My partner, they didn't text me enough. They haven't been loving enough. They didn't have enough time for me. I know. I get that. I was there too. It's so easy to say, oh, they did it and I did that too, until I realized, you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being the house that gets blown away all the time. And I'm just running from the wind. I'm just running. I'm tired of that. I'm going to become the house out of brick that no wind will destroy me. Obviously, we're not talking here about toxic relationships. Yeah, toxic relationships are maybe equivalent to like someone coming with a huge hammer and destroy, like then they can still destroy the um, brick house. Yeah, I'm not talking about like toxic relationships like abuse. I'm talking about normal human behavior that triggers you so much or you feel so easily disturbed that you always run away from it. Okay, and that makes you impossible to have a relationship. And in fact, I see this pattern highly in high achieving people, high achieving women and men, because you just want to be empowered. You don't want to take BS from people. You don't want to take small comments. You don't want to take feeling bad. You want to feel empowered all the time. So I freaking get that. I get that. And it served you so well. It served me so well. If I didn't choose this way of escaping, this way of letting negativity behind, I don't think I would be successful anywhere. But then there was a point where I really was like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's time to lean in. Maybe it's time to become stronger. And I'm going to give you an example how this looks like in dating and in relationships. One second. And by the way, if you're right now dating, you are in a relationship and you are feeling like the wind is way too strong, you're feeling disturbed by your partner, you're feeling disturbed by the people that you're dating, you feel like no one is good enough, make sure to reach out for a free love audit call. I put the link in the description box, but also in my bio. Okay, you get to ask questions, you get to pick my brain already. Okay, so how that looks like in real life. I already gave you one example when it wasn't only romantic relationship. Honestly, I did this even with family members and other people. When someone was a little bit angry, had like this anger feeling, I would already want to detach and run away. Again, toxic anger means that someone acts out. Someone would like yell and insult you. That's toxic anger. But like being a little bit angry and frustrated, that's normal. That's like a human response. We all can experience that. But I had such a low tolerance. I would already start feeling all uncomfortable and be like, okay, like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, go, you know? So, this is me being this house out of like grass, out of hay. I would completely stop the relationship if someone had like even connected to their anger. And you can also substitute it with other areas. And then because I did my inner work, I did heal. It's also a little bit connected with trauma. Yeah, if you experience anything negative in your childhood, which I did, like it brings up so much stuff from the past. So I had to like do really deep inner work, trauma inner work, which by the way, I'm a trauma informed coach. So when you work with me, the reason so many clients have so fast breakthroughs because we do inner work at level of trauma, of childhood patterns, of somatic healing patterns. Okay, so we go really deep. And then my next stage was to kind of like not break the relationship, but I couldn't hold the other person. So I would just take a break until they calm down because I couldn't take it when someone um like felt angry, although it's their human right, you know. Um and then after me just taking a break, then I become even stronger. I became that brick house. And now, if someone goes through something that's frustrating, that's angry, I'm just chilling. And guess what? Like, family members where I didn't ghost them because, like family, you don't fully ghost them. Now, even though I was struggling for years, I can have a relationship for them. I become the, I no longer run from feeling uncomfortable. And again, I'm not saying you have to be stuck in a relationship where you feel horrible or in a toxic relationship. But there are things that we are overreacting, especially if we experience trauma in the past as children, and sometimes we don't even remember. And in our brain, we think this person, like I'm telling you, these family members where I'm just like chilling now next to them, my whole life, I thought they are some kind of scary monster. I just felt so uncomfortable. I had such a strong fear response of people who would have even a little bit of anger inside them. And that's, by the way, one of the reasons why I wasn't able to attract masculine men in the past. Because masculine men are very much connected with their anger, frustration if they are frustrated. But again, it doesn't mean that they do anything toxic with that. Yeah, and I myself, by the way, through my inner work journey, had to connect with my own anger because I would numb my own anger, and that just made me feel tired. When you numb anger, like for me at least, the symptom was just chronically tired, chronically fatigued. I was just numb. Yeah, so it's like a whole story with anger and me. Like I had to integrate this within me. I had to lose the fear of it. But yeah, now me being the house out of bricks, I finally can have a relationship with those people. So yeah, running is not always an option. It's not. It is a short-term solution to not feel uncomfortable if you're overwhelmed. But if you have the right tools and you do your inner work, you can have relationships with so many people. And then it's no longer like, oh, I'm chronically single, no one is good. Then it's like, I literally can have a relationship with anybody. Okay, let's exclude the toxic people, but with anybody who's in the range of normal, I can have a relationship with. Okay, compatibility, if you guys are in a romantic relationship and have the same life goals, that's another topic. But I'm just talking about the topic of running from relationships, which I've done so much. Let me know if this resonates. I'm going to give you one more example for you to fully understand what it means running from a relationship when it's completely inappropriate. And that is, I was actually talking to one of my clients today, and she was sharing with me that the guy that she's dating, like he didn't text her today, and she was feeling really upset. And she actually wanted to start dating another guy now because she felt upset on this one and maybe even stop talking to him. And I talked to her and I was like, why do you feel so upset? Why do you feel so upset? And she said, because I feel abandoned. Because I feel like he doesn't love me, he doesn't care about me, he will, if not now, he will very soon abandon me and break up with me. Mhm. So, because you feel afraid that he will break up with you, you are basically acting out and running from that feeling. But can you see that this will sabotage your relationship that you have with this man when you run to someone else or you just stop talking to him? This is going to lead to sabotagement because you run from your emotions. And she was like, oh, yes, yes, I see that. Okay. So what we did, we were like, okay, we've got to face it. No more running from this. First of all, him not texting one day is not a red flag. That is not abandonment. If you date someone and they don't answer you or text you for over a week, yes, that's too much. But one day, mm-mm, that is not abandonment. Okay, that is not a red flag. So this is, this also sometimes get distorted. People who experience trauma in their childhood sometimes are too sensitive. They see little, huge red flags in something small. And sometimes it also happens that those people are not sensitive at all. Oh, yeah, he just didn't talk to me for 1 month. He was busy, Or she just didn't talk to me for 1 month. She was just busy. Oh, they are cheating. She's cheating or he's cheating. It's okay. I can share my love, like minimizing red flags. Like this can go really out of balance quickly, but it's not healthy. Anyways, I talked to my client today, and because I know her for a long time, I know her history, we could find out what was in her childhood, what behavior in her childhood triggered this fear that he will abandon her. And I was able to find this with her. I was able to work through this with her. So now she's like, okay, I know what's going on with me, and I will not sabotage this relationship by running from my fear. And it looks like, yeah, starting to date someone else because he's bad. He didn't text one day. I know logically it doesn't make sense, but you have to imagine emotionally it does. It 100% does. It makes so much sense emotionally. Okay. So that's why you also need the deep emotional support to heal these patterns and these triggers. Um, because otherwise, yeah, if we keep running, we're gonna keep sabotaging relationships, and I wouldn't want that for you. Okay, so I hope that you get a lot of insight already in this video here. And I just wanted to finish this example with my client. So now she has the clarity, and now obviously it's just happened. She's going to be able to have a relationship and face those fears and be like, okay, it was just in my head. I'm gonna soothe myself. She also talk with the man about it, that she needs extra support, she needs extra validation that he doesn't abandon her. Okay, those conversations are important because even when you date or later in a relationship, there are insecurities, and you get to solve them within yourself, but also share it with your partner. Um, yeah, but how to do it exactly for your topic? If you'd like the support, make sure to reach out for a free love audit call or a free clarity call. Okay, and just know that you get to have a beautiful relationship. You get to have a relationship where you are happy, where you're seen, where you are heard, where your needs and emotions matter. Okay, and running is not the solution, although it feels like a relief in the moment, although it feels like in the moment that they did this to you. I know. But if you see that you chronically are in the same cycle of just being single or just having short term superficial relationships where one little find, one little wind blow, the whole house is broken, y- it needs a little bit of inner work so that your relationship and you can be robust. Now that little things, miscommunications don't destroy it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up, send this to anyone that might be interested, sign up for our free love audit call, and yeah, subscribe to my channel if you desire more dating and relationship tips. I see you soon.